What's up mga Kahydro? Welcome back. And in this video, we're going to discuss about germinating lettuce seeds, viability of your seeds, and also a little bit about using foam from germination, and as well as coco peat. Stay put. I'm gonna share my experience. Right. So you're here because you want to learn more about hydroponics, right? By the way, I'm Cebuano. Just not comfortable talking in Tagalog because it's a little stiff. You might find it sometimes that I'm corny with my diction, but I hope you can deal with it. So for a lot of starters in hydroponics, most of you will be greedy. When I started off a few years back, I was really greedy. I ordered a lot of seeds. Grand Rapid, Eton, Red Batavia. As you can see, this was purchased. This is still viable based on their manufacturing date and so before. No. In my experience, when you purchase seeds and you stock it for probably around 6 months, they will not be very viable. Say for example this one, I just opened it in June. Normally when I open the packs, I put labels. What day did I open it? This is a Red Batavia. For 1 gram, it's a little pricey. As you all know, I resell these seeds in menudo packs, in small packs, so that a lot of my friends, my clients, a few of hydroponics enthusiasts can also start growing their lettuce, variety of lettuce. Unfortunately, when the quarantine or the lockdown got lifted, people were not already closed in their homes, but started to go out and another diversification, and they quit hydroponics because they never really love hydroponics at all. So the movement of the seeds that I was selling slowed down as well, but that's why I also have a lot of stocks with me. And all of these stocks, as I told you, it's my tip: do not overstock seeds. Do not be fond of buying red colored lettuce, green colored lettuce, straight ball type lettuce, romaines, like they look like pechay, and curly lettuce. I would highly recommend to focus on one pack when you start off, and count the number of styro boxes you have at home, because for 1 gram, I think you'd be having more than 1,000 seeds here, and if it's viable, you cannot use it all, 1 pack for the entire year, because you just have how many boxes. So you do not waste your money buying a lot of seeds that you cannot use. Okay? When you have improved your skills in hydroponics, well, you can buy another extra pack of red lettuce. Yes, you just have green and red combinations, because if you like eating lettuce as part of your diet, it's good to have red and green. I would recommend to hone your skills in hydroponics first before buying different types of colored lettuce. Also, I'm sorry to tell you this, I'm not as famous as the other vloggers in Manila. They're promoting the RZ brand, the RG Swan, and all the expensive pelleted 100% viable seeds, but I don't really recommend to buy you to particularly buy those in expensive seeds. They actually cost 1 peso. 1 peso per seed. Look at this Grand Rapid. It's almost 100% viable. For 1 pack, it's probably around, this is 10 grams, around 5,000 seeds. I'm not promoting Seeds of Hope or East West, but I already bought 2 packs of this, and you cannot even consume all of it. Believe me, it's the same. I've grown the expensive lettuce. Look at this, probably around 5,000 or more, probably 10,000. The RZ's one, it's just the same as the Grand Rapids. I might be wrong, it might be a different variety. It appears the same, there's no big difference. If you're starting off, start with the cheap ones. Start low, because you're practicing. If you're farming, yeah. But even if you're farming, you would, actually look for a lower cost seed, because that's going to entail to your overhead price for every head. Manila guys, Manila farmers or growers of lettuce, they sell the lettuce per head. A few of my friends here, I already tell them to sell the lettuce per head, not per kilo, because if you sell it per kilo, you're going to be lugi. The profit margin is going to be quite low, because the developmental cost of your greenhouse is very expensive, unlike the soil grown or the traditionally grown lettuce. It's cheaper. The traditionally grown lettuce would probably cost around 3 to 4 pesos per head. Probably includes the labor as well. But if for hydroponics, I think, especially when you introduce lights, electronics, and other stuff, and the nutrient solution, the styro boxes, it's going to cost you. And you cannot compare apple to apple with farming soil, traditional, and hydroponics. It's going to cost high for the development or for the initial capital. So you have to sell it per head. Probably around 25 pesos, 20 pesos, 20 to 35 pesos per head. Even if you're in Cebu, whichever location, you just have to benchmark the prices in your area. The edge of selling hydroponics, you're not introducing pesticide, you're not introducing fungicide. That's your market edge. Unlike the traditionally grown lettuce, well, they always claim it as organic. Most of them call it organic, but you cannot get a perfect leaf without applying pesticide and fungicide, unless otherwise you've grown it in a greenhouse. So yeah, sell it per head. Alright, so now we're going to move on to germination. For the numerous times I have grown lettuce, I normally use a tissue germination method. In this way, I don't have to wait for a long time to know if the seeds are viable or not. Normally, during your first day, 24 hours, you'll notice that the seeds are starting to pop open. In that way, you know that the seeds are viable or not. So otherwise, if it doesn't pop open on the second day, you can just throw it away. Throw the entire patch. There's no use in keeping a lot of packs. I'm about to throw this one because this is no longer viable. Okay? Do not mix it with your good ones. Separate your good seeds to the bad ones. There's no purpose in storing it. It's just going to confuse your mind. It's never gonna grow. Replace. Don't waste your time waiting for those seeds to grow. Throw it, buy a new pack. Okay? It's a simple technique. There's no technique actually there. If it's not viable, throw it away. I've also purchased, even if it's new, it just arrived and I tried to germinate it. Some of the seeds are not viable. During manufacturing in famous brands, I'm not trying to name any specific brand at all, but there are really some seeds that are probably stuck old, no longer viable, or probably placed in a storage room that is not conducive for storing seeds, so it's not going to be viable. And do note that pack seeds are treated with fungicide. Right? So if you ask me, get a lot of questions, how do I grow my seeds? How do I start off my seeds? Tissue germination. And in my experience, I use a combination of foam and coco peat. Okay. So foam and coco peat. I have another video. I probably share it on this link here. I don't know how to do it, but I'll probably share it here on which is best to use, cups or plastics. Okay, so for tissue germination, it's much easier for you to choose the good, viable, good seeds. See, I think you can see it. So I get a lot of tips from my mentors, from also watching other videos in YouTube and learning a lot of things. They always tell you to choose the best seedlings, the ones that have very good, I don't know how to do it. That one? Okay. This is already long, but still find it good. If you're growing it front yard, backyard, doesn't matter. Put it that. Slip it in. Just expose the head. That's it. Good to go. During the first 3 days, use water. On the 4th day, you can introduce a half dose of your nutrient solution. Okay, that's the trick. So even if it's long, it's okay. Don't mind, because sometimes your foam is more than an inch. Slip it in. Put it in your hardening styro box with a little water. Currently, I'm using actually rainwater because it's always raining nowadays. So you can use it. But do note that rainwater is alkaline. Even if you test with your pH and ppm meter, it's in most cases alkaline, but when you mix in with a nutrient solution, it lowers down to nearly 7. Recently, a few people I know set it at around 6.5 pH. And of course, frequently I get questions whether do they need to use the pH meter and the ppm meter. If you ask me straight, whether you need those devices, if you're farming, if you intend to farm if you intend to grow a lot of lettuce, you need to have those devices so that you can monitor the growth. At least you know the pH of the water and the particles per million. So as to monitor which is the best and suitable settings for your farm. So it's best to know. Otherwise, if you're just growing backyard for personal consumption, you don't need those devices. You just buy Snap or a Hydro. You don't need to monitor. Unless otherwise the plants are not growing so well. Maybe you can resort. It's just how much? 500 pesos nowadays. You can just order it online, no problem. But for bigger farming, yeah, you need those devices. Otherwise, don't buy it. You don't need it. Just grow. Okay. If you find that the growth is not good, start another one. Okay. So for coco peat, let's talk about coco peat before we. So for the coco peat, you need to wash your coco peat. You can use boiling water, rinse it, or you can rinse it 3 times, or use hot water, or boil it. If you have a large steel barrel and you have a lot of coco peat, you can just put it there, put some water, boil it down, and rinse it. It's done. So it's sterilized. It's best to sterilize so that you will avoid unnecessary pathogens in coco pit. Okay? Based on my experience, if you ask me, a couple of times using coco pit, my lettuce have suffered. Some fungus, some wilted. Also, I'd like to add in that it's best to keep your coco pit high so that the soil can hold on to a medium. And then when you dip it with a little bit of water, the capillary action going up, it has enough moisture to keep the lettuce hydrated, especially during hot season, during summer. If you also experience during hot season, it's best to mist the area, or again, this is additional device, a humidity monitor. Again, additional cost, expensive. Not really expensive, but you know, to set it up automatically in your greenhouse, it's going to cost you. Okay, so keep your coco pit high. You need to use a barbecue stick to put in the center, and then again, choose the best seedling, put it in the center, expose the leaf, just like that. Put it in your grow box. Alright, so I will just stop here. I probably shared a lot of information with this short video. I hope you enjoyed it. You've learned a lot of startup mistakes for the beginners. If you love it, subscribe, push that like and notification bell so that I can keep you updated. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you for visiting my page, my channel. Have a good day. Bye.